To make a Google form, you need to go to your Drive in the folder you want it to be in, click on New, More, and Google Forms. The first thing I'm going to do when I open up my form is to give it a name. So in this case, I'm going to call it Michael's Survey. Now, the default is that it gives you a multiple choice question to start, but there's a lot of different question options that you can have. So you've got short answer, paragraph, multiple choice, checkboxes, drop down. You can upload a file, you can do a linear scale, a multiple choice grid, checkbox grid, a date question, or a time question. I'm going to show you a few of these right now, and the rest maybe you can have a little explore around later. So the first question that I'm going to ask in my survey is, what languages do you speak? So Google's pretty smart, but it's not that smart in this case, so I'm going to make that a short answer question, and I'm going to make it required. So that means the person filling it out has to do it, or they can't submit. If I want to add another question, I'm going to click the plus, and I'm going to ask, what is one country you would like to visit? And again, I want this to be a short answer, and I want this required. Next question will be, how many brothers and sisters do you have? I want a question that's going to give me a number, so later on when I go to another video and show you how to work with this data, we've got some different things we can do. The next one I'm going to do is I'm going to do a multiple choice or a drop down, or probably actually the best one to do is checkboxes, and I'll explain the difference as I go through this. So the question is, what is your favorite color? Now I'm going to start with red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and then let's add pink, white, black. And I'll do add other. Now, if I do multiple choice, that means the people filling out the survey can pick one color, and it's all there. If I do drop down, it's the same except they have to select it from a menu. And if I do checkboxes, it allows them to select as many as they want. In this case, I only want them to pick one though, because favorite is the best. And I don't want my data to be too crazy with lots of different answers. Again, I'm going to make that required. The next couple questions I'm going to ask, the next one, sorry, is going to be, what is your favorite movie? And I expect we'll get lots of different answers for that. And I also want to show you how to do a linear scale. So my question will be, how do you feel about cats? And label 1 is, I hate them. And label 5 is, I love them. So we'll ask them to rate how they feel in 1 to 5, and they can choose 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And it gives them the legend down there that you fill in. I'm going to make that one required as well. But what I want to do actually is split this up. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions. So let's do 3 questions on a page. So I select the third question and I click this button that says Add Section. So instead of saying Untitled Section, I'm going to call it Second Page of Questions. And now maybe I want to add a picture about cats in here. So after the cats, I'm going to click on Add Image, and I'm going to search for cats. And maybe I'll put this one that looks angry. Maybe that will skew the results a little bit. And you can see the images coming in. And in fact, I want to put that in front on top of the question. You can also change the color of your survey. I'm just going to keep it a simple green right now. If you want, you can pick from any number of themes that Google has there, or even upload your own photos. For now, I'm going to leave it like this, and if I click here, it automatically names my survey what the survey is here. If I want to see what that survey looks like, I can click on this button up here to preview it. As you can see in my survey, only the first 3 questions show up because they're the first 3 questions in the first section. So, what language do I speak? English. I don't speak any other languages enough to say I'm fully fluent, so I'll leave it as that. The one country I'd like to visit is Vietnam, and I'm going there in a few months. And I have 1 sister, so I'm going to put 1 there. Now, if I don't fill that in, it says it's a required question and it won't let me click next. So I have to click 1 and go next. So then you see I've got the multiple choices there. My favorite color is green because that's what I picked. My favorite movie is Gattaca. And how do I feel about cats? I actually am quite neutral about them. I don't hate them, but I can't say that I love them. They do get on my nerves a little bit, so I'm going to click on the 3 there and submit. Now, this form won't do so much if I've only just got my response, so I'm going to need to share it with other people. To share our survey, we need to go back to the edit page, but you'll notice first that it says now that since I've submitted those responses, there's 1 response. So I can click on this tab and see a summary. So it says the 1 response is English, the 1 country is Vietnam, how many brothers and sisters I have is 1, green is the favorite color. Now, actually, if you look at this, the colors don't match up. It's just luck that green happens to be green, but purple is blue, and red is blue, and orange is red. So you might need to change that. I can show you that in the next video about how to manipulate the data. You'll see another listed response, and you'll also see kind of a graph that's already here. But we want more information in this, so going back to questions, we can click on Send. Now, Send gives us an option to email the survey out. It gives us a link, or it gives us an embed code. My usual method is to take the link and share it with people. Whatever works for you. But the best thing to do is if you want to get information is to share it. And then once we've got information, we can do something with it.